I'll explain this by giving you a quick overview of Doppler's effect, and then we will work it out. See, according to Doppler's effect, f dashed is equal to f into v plus minus vo divided by v minus plus vs. So this is the formula for Doppler's effect. We don't need to know the derivation for this. When you are approaching the NEET exam, they won't ask us for derivations, but this is the formula which I am sure you would have seen, and then you have understood this. So here f is the actual frequency, v is the velocity of the sound that we are talking of, plus minus vo, that is the observer velocity. So if the observer is approaching the source, then it will be plus. If the observer is moving away from the source, then it will be minus. Similarly, in the denominator we have v minus plus vs, s for source. So if the source is approaching the observer, it is minus. If the source is moving away from the observer, it will be plus. So if I have a source here and if I have an observer here, if the observer is moving away, I'll go for the minus sign. If the source is moving away, then I'll go for the plus sign. Okay, so this is how you have this formula, and then we are going to work with it. This f dashed is the apparent frequency as heard by the observer. Now not everybody is going to hear this. So one thing remember, in all kinds of propagation, frequency will always be a constant. Frequency is not dependent on medium, frequency is not dependent on anything. Frequency is only dependent on the source which is creating the particular wave. Now here there is a change in frequency. This is an apparent change in frequency. That means not everybody will observe this. Okay, so here I said when the observer is moving away, he will hear a frequency which corresponds to the minus sign. But at the same point, if there is another observer who is at rest, he would continue to hear the same old frequency. Okay, so in that context, we have to understand that frequency of any wave does not change and it does not depend upon the medium. Here there is a change in frequency, so it is the apparent frequency that we are talking of. So based on this, let's try to answer a few questions so that we will understand what I am trying to say. I am trying to say is that they give you credit for ticking the right option. They don't give you credit for working out the entire question and then finding out the answer and then ticking. Right? So understand this. Let's look at a few questions and then see. So here's the first question. Which of the following statements is correct for the Doppler's effect? The apparent frequency will be more than the actual frequency when the observer moves towards the stationary source. So the source is stationary, so this is 0. Observer is moving towards, so we have plus, because in the numerator we have plus, frequency will increase. So statement A is correct. The apparent frequency will be more than the actual frequency when the source moves towards the stationary source. So now the observer is at rest, the source is moving towards, so this is minus. Minus in the denominator will decrease the fraction, so again frequency will increase. So both the statements are correct. So I'll go for option C, where both statements are correct. Okay, so now if you understand this, now let's go to the next question.